Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt your regularly scheduled programming to bring you this special bulletin. I was planning on doing a follow-up video concerning the Farm Folks CEO and the apology for the question they had for their community concerning breasticide, because he did a little interview with the so lovely Alyssa Mercante of Kotaku, the well-established bastion of journalistic integrity. But something else has come up. The CEO has responded to said article, and boy, oh boy, things are getting interesting. This is going to show you pretty much exactly what to expect from people like Alyssa Mercante and Kotaku. This little article from Park Place. Kotaku's Alyssa Mercante, I'm going to try to say her name right, gloats after being accused of intentionally misrepresenting Farm Folks CEO comments about gamers. Now, if you didn't know what was going on, Farm Folks, it looks like little co-op or multiplayer survival farm little game that had a decent amount of following, and they came out with all the nonsense going around, all the people arguing about jiggle physics in Stellar Blade. They came out and made a little post that a lot of people saw as a joke. I personally saw it as a joke. Since every video is someone's first, hey, folks, it's time for some serious game development talk. We're tinkering with the character physics in Farm Folks. Burning question: which version has the perfect breast jiggle physics? It proceeds to provide three options: 50, 90, and 30%, with a follow-up question: does anyone want to see what 150% looks like? This is obviously a joke to take the piss out of the discussion going around with Stellar Blade and female anatomy in video games. Well, a few of the usual suspects said this is not the way to look, and black girl gamers. People got offended by this, thought it was upsetting, and got a little butthurt about it. Oh no, boo-hoo. And well, they came out and made an apology, which is something you never do you don't do that. Don't apologize, especially not for an obvious joke. You will sour your reputation with gamers and people in your viewers, your customers, your potential customers. But it happened. Then came out and did an interview with Kotaku's Alyssa Mercante, where she alleges it was an hour long. In that interview, Koshelkoff, okay, appeared to decry gamers, saying, quote, "You have to be a very poor person to kind of sexualize this. Like, the internet is full of sex right now." That is correct. There's some crazy things that you can find if you're having problems with your characters, like look for help. Ooh, poor choice of words. Maybe go and date a woman or something like that. That's what we all hear. Anytime you insult or anytime you criticize the look of a female character in a video game, you should go out and touch grass. Have you ever touched a woman? You're probably an incel, you're a virgin, blah, blah, blah. Nonsensical garbage like that. Go ahead and tell me that. Cool. Huh. It's not our goal. We don't want to attract people that are attracted to only those body parts. Now, best case scenario, he's right. Do you really want to attract the gamer that is only interested in the jiggle physics of your female characters? You want to attract people who are, yes, you want your character model to be aesthetically pleasing. Everyone likes that. Everyone likes the look of what they're looking at. They want to see something pretty when they're playing a game, but you also mainly want to attract people who are interested in the mechanics of your game, the story, the setting, and all that other stuff. So I can kind of understand, but oh boy, in today's environment, you have to be careful with your wording. Man, of course, Alyssa Mercante doesn't help. He also indicated that he did not want certain nasty people to play the game. Quote, "But to answer your question, no, we don't want to attract nasty people. Who on earth does? We don't want those. We will have some limits, like as much as we want to give it, but it's so controversial. I want the player to choose how they want the character to look. Good. Let us choose the way we want our characters to look." That's a good one. Like if you want, for example, the breasts to have a little more movement or not. But like again, it's not going to be like you scroll the physics ladder up and then down and all over the place. So let's see. And then this is just like all over the place and it's like goofy. Yeah, I can understand that as well. You don't want the character to look unrealistic. these are very good points. But of course, Alyssa Mercante, being the clout-chasing individual that she is, brings up former World of Warcraft team lead Mark Kern. Mercante quoted Keshelkov as saying, "Fuck that. I'm going to go ahead and say it. My channel's not for kids. I don't care what he thinks." Nothing wrong with that statement. "I'm apologizing for structuring it badly. You shouldn't apologize in the first place. If we were to rewind the times, we would skip that." Oh, the apology or the joke? Skip the apology for sure. "We don't want to be part of the culture war." I'm afraid I have some bad news for you. "We don't want Kern to give us any recommendations." Actually, that might be the best recommendation you could have right now, because there are so many people following Mark, following his, I guess, his part in the culture war, in the video game culture war. That might be a good recommendation to have. "We prefer to evaluate it from what we consider human character. We want to be sincere with our fans and do good. And you should do that. The first step, stop having interviews with people like Alyssa Mercante and Kotaku. Stay away from that if you want to be sincere with your fans, and do not apologize. We don't want to get into that kind of dirt." Again, too late. Why? Not just because of the joke you posted or the apology, but Alyssa Mercante made it very clear, made it her goal to pull you into it. And we're going to get into her quotes in a little bit here. "I see this is the biggest problem in the United States." Okay, two camps, everybody's throwing stones at each other. Yes, that is unfortunately correct. So, get to the fun stuff. Ex-user Hat McGlasses, which shared excerpt from Mercante's article to social media platform, writing, "Farm folks, low info CEO, be nice, maybe. Implies that gamers who won't cave to the censorship mob, cancel pigs, and corrupt journos are incels. Mercante played him," yes she did, "and now is dragging him for the sucker he is on her handle." Keshelkov responded, which is where the fun starts. "Hi, this is not what I implied, and it's misrepresented here. I meant that if you are against natural breast movement, this statement applies to you. We don't want exaggerations, and at the same time, we would love to have natural, elegant motion in our characters' bodies." Fantastic. Keshelkov would elaborate in another post, response to user... Oh, that's Atreus. If you watch Saturday Night Hypnosis, you know Atreus. Official Atreus. He stated, my comment, let's see, Atreus says, "You are stuck in a tough spot." That is true. "You really think it would have been beneficial for you guys to take a step back and breathe before even responding to this controversy?" Yes, take a step back, check the atmosphere, check the comment section, check the responses to your joke. Which ones are genuine? How many are genuine? How many are trolling? And how many are just people acting offended, fake outrage? Keshelkov responds, "My comment was actually directed towards the people who have issues with natural body motion in our game, not towards the people who appreciate it. I think it was intentionally misrepresented." What else do you have here? "Why didn't you say this instead of telling people look for help and to date a woman? It might be because of the limited English vocabulary, and I thought I expressed myself clearly. I feel it's misrepresented intentionally." Let's see. Mercante seemingly got wind of Keshelkov's comments. "I don't know how, because everyone that has criticized her, she has blocked." So, let's see. "I said this to him during our interview, but the Farm Folk CEO attempts to not be political, are very naive in the current climate." Well, it's not your job to drag these individuals. They're trying to be apolitical when it comes to making their video games. And I'm sorry, Mercante, that's a good thing. That's not naive. It's a goal that you should strive to, especially when it comes to video games. She added, "You got pulled into the culture war because you don't have a community manager to fuck everything up and insult your fans," because that's all community managers are doing right now. "Who knew that titty physics wasn't the move? It was a joke, but I guess considering you don't, well, never mind. You don't know what a joke is. Then you apologized," which probably was a bad idea. "Then the titty physics gooners got mad that you apologized, and then I interviewed you. Them's the breaks." My goodness, let's see. And of course, Alex responds to her right here. You've been using me as a tool against your nemesis. Yes, you are being used by this clout-chasing twat just to get some sort of recognition and justify her measly existence. And I'm not sure if it was intentional or accidental. Oh no, Alex, it was 110% intentional. You misrepresented a few of my points. In our dialogue, you agreed that it's all cool to have women's breast movements in game. You reached out for clarification. Unfortunately, I can't see more on here, but we have more on this. Let's see. Oh, it's right here. Goody, goody, goody. In games, you reached me for clarification yourself and then refused to share it with your readers on X. My goodness, he's sharing the responses. Hi, Alex. Let's see. Let's see. I notice you have been replying to people saying, quote, I intentionally misrepresented one of your quotes. What did you mean to say? Because we're going to read this all, folks. I love it. Alyssa Mercante is a vile, putrid blight on games, on video games, and game journalist, but that's a pretty low bar anyway. I recorded our entire conversation and went over it with transcripts. Let's see. Alex says, hi, Alyssa. I strongly believe that this sentence was taken out of context to support a specific narrative and goal. I believe it's part of a larger context where you and I agreed to having a breast physics in the game is acceptable. The quote that you shared was my response to people that are offended by breast movements in the game. I'm clarifying what I meant, since it seems to have taken out a bigger context and I probably didn't choose the best words to express it. I didn't intend to hurt anyone or call names, but it's being interpreted this way now. Alex says, can you be so kind and share with me recording? Let's see. Alex says, people are harassing me because my point is misrepresented as well. Alyssa responds, I want you to tell me what part of the above quote you believe should be included in that section to properly represent you. Or, if you don't like me to use what you said earlier, let's see, here's the quote. It was more linked to people who got upset we had natural breast movement in the game, but they saw it as sexual intent. It was not. I mentioned to you that though we can disable it, it will be a loss because I think, in a way, we're doing it. It's natural and sensitive. Let's see. The goal is for players to properly represent themselves in the game. We're not aiming for over-exaggeration. Keshelkoff insisted, the goal is to make it very elegant and very sensitive to women and their bodies. You have to be a very poor person to kind of sexualize this. Like the internet is full of sex right now. There's some crazy things that you can find. If you're having problems with your character, look for help. And that's where we go on to the, go date a woman. Let's see. Alex says, you're cutting most important part of it, I think. Oh. Hi, Alyssa. I strongly believe that this sentence was taken out of context. Let's see. I didn't intend to hurt anyone. So you want me to include that in the statement? Are you denying that you said what I have quoted? Is that what I said? That I'm denying? I explained it. Where's the fun part? All the way down here. Let's see. Their conversation goes on and on. Your statement is at the end of the piece. Is it in your tweet? Can't see it. So the final words, Alex says, I get that. In your tweet, you're saying you've reached me for clarification, and then you didn't include it. It just feels a bit off and probably is going to mislead your readers still. To which Alyssa responds, I'm not a service. You do not get to dictate to me how I represent you. Goodbye. That is probably the most fun, important part of the entire article. It would appear, based on those screenshots, Alyssa intentionally misrepresented everything that Alex had to say. He wants to make a good game. He wants to make a fun game. Provide relatively realistic sliders for people. I maintain that your attempts to remain neutral are naive, as I told you, and I wish you luck. Oh, I'm not a PR person. You got that right. You spoke to me for over an hour. The entire copy of our conversation was never going to be published in this piece. Oh, journalistic integrity of Alyssa Mercante. I maintain that your attempts to remain neutral are naive, especially when you have individuals like Alyssa trying to drag you down, misrepresent your words, misrepresent your game, and just dump anything and everything on top of you. What is this? I can't see her fucking, you stupid twat. Let's block everyone that tries to talk to you, to criticize you, and form any sort of actual dialogue. But anyway, a little bit of update on the farm folks, on this twat waffle of an individual intentionally misrepresenting in an interview. What are your thoughts? Let me know what you think in the comments. Leave a like, leave a dislike. Does this change your mind? That's the question of the day. Does this change your mind on farm folks? Does this change your mind on the apology? Give more clarification as to why the apology was there. Not necessarily that they offended someone, but that the joke was taken. I still don't think they should have apologized. But anyway, does this little bit of information change your opinion on farm folks and the CEO and where the game might be going? Let me know what you think in the comments. Leave a like, leave a dislike. Do all those nifty little things that YouTubers beg you to do, and I hope to see you on the next one.